Hi, I'm a DocuSign University trainer. Today I'll be showing you how to set up custody transfer rules. Custody transfer rules allow you to automatically transfer envelopes from one user or group of users to another at a certain point in the envelope's progress. The transfer can occur on send, before the envelope arrives to the recipient, or after the envelope is completed. Custody transfer rules could be useful for a variety of scenarios. For example, maybe you'd like it to appear that your envelopes are coming from a generic user. You could set up a custody transfer rule to transfer envelopes from your individual users to a generic user on your account. The envelopes would be transferred after they are sent from the individual user, but before arriving in the inbox of the recipient. That's the scenario we will explore today. To configure a custody transfer rule, navigate to your admin settings, and on the left side, look for Custody Transfer. Here you can select Add Rule. The first thing to choose is who the envelopes will be transferred from. You can select individual users or user groups. This means that when this person or people send an envelope, it will be transferred automatically. Next, you're going to choose who the envelopes will be transferred to. You can select an individual user. The envelopes will be transferred into this user's account. I'm going to select a generic user that I've created for my legal team. The next selection is where the envelopes will be transferred. We can choose any of the folders within this destination user's account. I'll select the inbox. The last selection is the transfer time. This allows you to specify when you want the envelopes to be transferred. There are a few choices. On send, this means the envelope will be transferred after the sender clicks send. A sub option of this is to transfer prior to first send. This actually transfers the envelope before it arrives to the recipient. This option makes it appear as though the envelope is coming from the new owner. The other option is on complete. This means the envelope will be transferred after the envelope is signed by all recipients and marked as completed. For this scenario, we will say on send and transfer prior to first send. Finally, we have an option to keep the original owner on as a carbon copy. This is helpful if you want that original owner to be kept on as a carbon copy for visibility purposes. I'll disable that option here. And Add Transfer Rule. Once the rule is created, you'll see there's an Actions drop-down where you can enable or disable. Right now it is currently enabled. Or you can delete. Now, there is no option to edit, so if you do need to make a change to the rule, you'll need to disable or delete it and recreate it entirely. So let's observe the custody transfer rule in action. I am going to send an envelope. I'll send a non-disclosure agreement to one of my customers, Connie. I'll just add a couple of basic fields for my customer. And send. Now, immediately when I send, before it even gets to Connie's inbox, it's going to change ownership to my legal team, that generic user that I added in my custody transfer rule. So over in my email, you can see the notification that Connie, my customer, is getting. It looks like it's coming from legal team. The ownership has changed to the legal team. So of course, Connie could go in there and sign accordingly. Also, if I switch over to my legal team's DocuSign account, if they navigate over to Agreements and Inbox, inbox, they're going to see that envelope here, the NDA for Connie Customer, and we're waiting on Connie to sign. Looking in the history of this envelope, there will be a clear indication of who created the envelope. So it was created by DocuSign Trainer, and then before it was sent out to the customer, it was transferred. So there's a record of that within the audit. So you're now ready to begin using custody transfer rules to automatically transfer envelopes between your users.